The millionaire's daughter had never spoken a word since birth. Doctors said she never would. But one afternoon under the bright sun, a mysterious liquid appeared at her feet, and what happened after would shock even her own family. Elena was born into one of the wealthiest families in the country. Her father, Victor Moreau, built an empire of shipping, hotels, and oil fields. To the world, he was a ruthless business tycoon, but to Elena, he was a devoted father. Yet there was one tragedy money could not heal. Elena had been mute since birth. Specialists from London, surgeons from America, herbalists from the East, all were summoned. None could give her a voice. Society whispered behind silk-gloved hands. A girl so beautiful, so rich, yet doomed to silence. Her father tried to drown their pity in wealth. He built gardens filled with imported peacocks, fountains taller than houses, even a music conservatory Elena could never use. The world called her the silent jewel. But jewels are admired, not heard. And Elena's heart ached for something more. Every afternoon, Elena walked through the family's sunlit gardens. Children of guests laughed, their voices echoing across marble paths while Elena sketched alone. Her governess, Miss Carter, often said kindly, "Your silence is your gift, my dear." But Elena's eyes would cloud with tears. A gift or a curse? On one golden afternoon, when the sun was high and shadows short, she noticed something strange. A small vial rolled gently to her feet across the polished stone. It was filled with liquid that shimmered like molten gold. The sunlight didn't reflect off it. It seemed to glow on its own. A fragile note was tied around its neck. One sip, and your silence will end. But beware, the sun takes what it gives. Her hands trembled. She looked around. The gardeners trimmed hedges, the maids dusted the terrace. No one seemed to notice. Curiosity burned. With one deep breath, she uncorked the vial and drank. At first, nothing. Then warmth flooded her chest. Her throat itched, then burned. Her lips parted, and a sound escaped. "Pa, Pa," she whispered. Her eyes widened. It was her voice, her own voice. For the first time in 17 years, she cried out again, louder, "Papa!" Servants dropped their trays. Birds scattered. Her father rushed down the stairs, hearing the impossible. When he saw her lips move and sound emerge, he fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. "My Elena, you speak. You truly speak." At first, it was celebration. That evening, the mansion was alive with joy. Guests gathered, musicians played, and Elena sang softly to the piano, her voice as pure as crystal. But soon something unsettling became clear. Whenever she spoke, people would pause, dazed, entranced. Her governess found herself obeying Elena's smallest command. Servants seemed unable to refuse her words. Even Victor, her iron-willed father, softened unnaturally when she asked for things. Her voice was more than sound. It was power. Disturbed, Elena searched the old library, a place of dust and forgotten secrets. There she found her grandmother's journals. They told of a secret society of alchemists who once visited the family. To gain wealth and influence, her grandmother made a pact. "The daughters of this house shall bear silence, so that fortune may flow without interruption." The glowing vial was no miracle. It was a test, a curse disguised as a gift. And the warning became clear. The sun takes what it gives. Elena realized each time she spoke under the daylight, she felt weaker, her skin pale, her heartbeat faint. Her newfound power drained her life. In the days that followed, Elena's life transformed. Her voice commanded admiration, fear, and submission. She asked for roses and gardeners planted them overnight. She asked for jewels and they were laid at her feet. But her body betrayed her. Each afternoon she spoke, she grew weaker. Servants whispered she had grown too thin, her eyes too hollow. Yet no one dared to question her, for her words bent them like puppets on strings. Her father begged her to rest her voice, but Elena had tasted freedom. After years of silence, how could she surrender her words now? One afternoon, as she walked the garden, a cloaked stranger appeared near the gates. He bowed and spoke with urgency. "Child, the vial you drank from was never meant for you." That liquid awakens a power that should remain sealed. If you continue, your life will wither before the next summer sun. Elena, now able to speak, demanded answers. The stranger revealed he was part of the same society that had bound her family. The liquid was placed there only when fate decided to test the silence of the bloodline. The voice you carry, he warned, is not only your own. It commands others, but it costs you everything. As weeks passed, Elena faced her truth. Each word drained her life, yet each word gave her the joy she had been denied all her years. One radiant afternoon, she returned to the marble bench where she first found the vial. Holding the last drops of golden liquid in her hand, she whispered to the sun, "If silence was my prison, then let my voice be my freedom, even if it burns me away." She drank the final sip. Her voice grew more powerful than ever, echoing through the gardens like a song no one could resist. But her body grew frail, her steps unsteady. Elena's father built statues and monuments in her honor, proclaiming her the daughter who defied silence. Crowds came from miles away to hear her speak. But one bright afternoon, as she sang to an audience in the garden, her voice soared to the heavens and her body collapsed. The last thing she whispered before the world went still was, "At last, I was heard." And though Elena's body faded, her voice never did. Servants swore they still heard it in the gardens at noon, carried by the sunlight, commanding and eternal. The silent jewel had become a legend.